Wow! Over the years, I've tested a lot of electric bikes and rideables. From little mini city bikes to fat tire beast and long-tail cargo e-bikes to vintage rides and even sleek urban commuters. Some were just plain fun, others seriously impressive, and a few totally blew me away. In this video, we're counting down the top 14 electric bikes and rideables I've reviewed so far. The ones that stood out, stuck with me, and earned a permanent spot in my all-time favorites list. So grab a snack, sit back, and get ready for a ride through some of the coolest e-machines I've ever featured. Let's roll! This bright yellow beast is the Heybike hauler, a cargo e-bike with so many bells and whistles, it could replace your actual car. And if you stick with me on this ride along and review, I'll show you all the reasons why I think it can replace a modern car, as well as test the range, the top speed, 7, come on, 28, a couple agility and durability tests along the way. And of course, we're gonna unbox and assemble it. There we go, footrest. And if interested in buying your own, the first link in the description of this video will take you to the most discounted price on the internet. One of the first things you need to note is that this bike operates on a 48-volt system with the 18 amp hour battery pack and a 55-mile claimed range. Well, for the single battery version that I'm riding, that is. And on that note, we are 1.25 miles into our 20-mile range test and review. And the Heybike hub motor is 750 watts nominal and 1,400 watts of peak output. The Heybike hauler feels really agile. The smaller 20 by 3 inch tires make it really nice and nimble. Here comes a nice little agility test. Cargo bikes can be agile. Oh my gosh, and I just love riding through this part. You don't always need to be going fast to have fun. All right, so we are in pedal assist 1 right now. Looks like it's top speed of 10 miles an hour. Pedal assist 2, so it's right around 12, 13. Pedal assist 3, you see it picks up. I got almost 500 watts. We're at 16 miles an hour. Pedal assist 4, we get up all the way up to 22. And of course, in pedal assist 5, we should get like there wasn't enough runway on that one. Put the throttle down. We got 26, 27. Can we get 28? We got 28 on their thermo. 28. It's holding us there on the throttle. Top speed claim, 28 miles an hour, confirmed. All right, one wheel dude hauling butt. The Heybike hauler has everything from daytime running lights to, of course, the cargo capacity of 440 pounds. So you can fit your kids, your sporting equipment, kind of like having an e-bike with a trunk on it. It also has suspension, really good brakes, and it has other great accessories included, like the included fenders, the foot rack for the back, that great cargo kickstand, which I'll give you an example of in a little bit. Oh yeah, and of course, we are 5 miles into this test ride and review. Bellingham. Actually use my blinker here. Swoop over here into the bike lane. Oh, buddy. Here's what the inside of the box looks like. In the box, I can see the seat attached to the fenders, and you can see that gigantic cargo rack. Definitely the most comfortable seat I think I've ever seen. Then we have the front fender. It is plastic. And here's the accessory rack system for the Heybike hauler. Here's where the second battery would go. This is a 20 by 3 inch Chaoyang tire. And I don't see a brand on the front disc, but it is 180 millimeters. And here is the huge down tube that holds the battery in the frame. We'll get that off in a moment. Here's the lower swing arm hauler. And down here we have a typical Shimano tourney derailleur with a derailleur bash guard. Seems to have worked through shipping. Interesting, not only do we have the derailleur wheel here, but we have a second derailleur wheel under here to keep the chain from hanging too low. And with the Heybike hauler, you get a regular kickstand, as well as a cargo style center mounted kickstand, which we'll get to in a moment. Here's the Heybike branded hub motor, but interestingly, if you wanted to turn this into a mid-drive, it has the casing section to fit a mid-drive motor. See, back here we have the tail light. Even branded their tail light. In box number 1, we have the headlight. We'll talk more about this in just a minute. Box 2 has the toolkit. We have the pedals. We have the headset. Looks like it's an adjustable headset. We have some torque measurements. And one nice thing you get with Heybike is like a functioning ecosystem. And that is a 4-amp charger. Now let's see if we can't get this all put together. Let's see, that seat post diameter is 30.4 millimeters. See, we have the Shimano 7-speed shifter. Here is the LCD. It as well as branded Heybike. We'll get this on in just a moment. We're putting on the headlight and the screw together. And to connect the headlight, which way does it go? This says pedal anti-clockwise. There we go, footrest. The 750 watt output, it is 48 volts, the 28 mile per hour top speed, making it a class 3 e-bike. Now let's get this battery out. Locks it, and it slides out the bottom. You can see it also has an on-off switch. Here it's the charging port, and you can also use it as a battery pack. And the max discharge is 25 amps. The battery features can be accessed right here. And if we step into the cockpit, on the LCD we have the brand, the battery charge with voltage meter, time ridden, speedometer, odometer, and then your pedal assist level. And if we hit that throttle with no weight on the back tire, we get 32 miles an hour. This tire is pretty flat, so we're gonna have to pump it up. I have the AS Max Smart Air Pump 10. Go ahead and turn it on. And we have the PSI settings. This connector, instead of screwing it in, it goes in and locks and you're done. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Give that a minute. All right. If you're getting any of these fat tire e-bike, you might want to use a pump like this. It's better. All right, and now we can see how these 3-inch tires handle gravel. Seems to be doing pretty good. Oh, a little agility cord. Now this center mounted kickstand really is what makes a cargo e-bike a cargo e-bike. Just pull it back into position and the bike stays perfectly balanced the entire time you load it. This has an insanely low and comfortable step over height. Now I'm 6 foot even, and this is the seat height I'm riding at. There are also mounts for the front and rear rack. Well, let's see, we are in pedal assist 3, going 16 miles an hour. We have gone almost 10 miles. I've been in pedal assist 3, 4, and 5. Not totally dogging it, but not going easy either. We still have full bars. I don't know, so far with the range, as far as the range is concerned, I'm pretty impressed, but let's keep going and see if anything changes. Now, another thing I like to do is see if we can ride this thing without any electric assist at all. So the bike is off right now. And yeah, I mean, I've got jam in gear 1, and on flat ground and in the grass, it seems like you can pedal it. So I would give this a non-electric pass. But this thing was made for electricity. So put this bad boy back up in pedal assist 5 and hit that throttle. 25, 26, 27, 28 again. 28 miles an hour, still got it. All right. I want to get 28 on my GPS. 27, come on, 28. There we go. This thing definitely gets 28 miles an hour. Next, up here at the front, this is what's known as a short travel suspension fork. And this is what it looks like going downstairs. On the mechanical side, the hauler uses a 7-speed cassette with a Shimano tourney derailleur. It connects to the front crank via a chain that is so long that the brand added an additional chain tensioner right here. Now there's no branding on the crank arms, but I can assure you they are aluminum and they feel really heavy duty. And the pedals have reflectors as well as little nubbies to keep your feet on. And up in the cockpit, on the left handle grip, we have the front brake, so it's the headlight on off switch, the horn, the turn signals, and then on the controller unit, we have the power on off, the function, and then the pedal assist down and up. The right handle grip has the rear brake, the Shimano shifter, and the thumb throttle. And in the middle controlling it all is the LCD. And it looks like the tide is out pretty far, so let's test it on some packed sand. Okay, now we're on pack. Here we go for this big hill climb test. Let's see, I'm just keeping the pedal assist alive, putting out 1100 watts, 10 miles an hour, 1000 watts, pedal assist 3. Yeah, this hill climb is no problem. This is crazy, but we are, screen brightness, we are 15.5 miles in. We're still showing a full battery. I'll be sure to test this battery as soon as we get done with this ride. One thing that does bother me just ever so slightly is that to get your thumbs all the way over to the pedal assist up and down button, you have to go across the headlights, and it's very easy to accidentally turn the headlight button on. And the bell sounds a little bit muted, but it's good because it's not as startling. I like the price tag at $13.99. I like that you definitely get the 28 mile per hour top speed. As for the 55 mile claimed range, I think you might actually get that. I really like the suspension fork. I really like the gel seat. That is super comfortable. I think I could ride on the seat for hundreds of miles. My butt feels really good after almost 20 miles on the road. I like that you could add the mid-drive motor if you wanted. You could upgrade to that at some point. I like that the fenders are included and the rear one comes installed. That's always going to save you a headache. I like the Shimano shifter. It's basic, but it works. The RSX brakes all work really good. If you want to find the absolute best price, use that first link in the description. If I have any discount codes, they'll be available there. And if you do use it, it helps support my channel and these reviews. If you want to see how easy this thing is to get into the back of a truck, it doesn't have quick release skewers. Just take the front tire off, like so. Front tire goes in the back. And then take it off the kickstand. And 90 pounds goes in the back like so, and in it goes. Turn the switch off to turn the headlight off. Oh, bam. All right, so it looks like we did exactly 20.59 miles. We rode for 2 hours, and this is upside down, but looks like it says 47.9 volts, which should be right around 58 to 60% battery left. So if 20.59 miles was 42% of the battery, that means our total estimated range will be right around 49 miles. Let's see, did we... This is the TST Defender, a 48-volt e-bike with giant 26 by 4-inch fat tires and a super durable frame. And if you stick with me on this ride along and review, I'll show you all the reasons why I think it's worth the $11.99 price tag, as well as test the range, the top speed, and of course, we're gonna unbox and assemble it too. All right, we can see for this ride, I've also added my lock so I can go indoors. And we also have a little saddle with the toolkit inside. And we're off. The mechanical shifting feels pretty smooth. I'm in first gear right now. Go right here. Let's get into gear 2, gear 3. Still no pedal assist, and you could definitely pedal it, no problem. And all right, so now we're gonna do a pedal assist top speed test. Oh, not now. Pedal assist 1 is about 9 miles an hour, maybe 10. Pedal assist 2 looks to be 11. Up in pedal assist 3, we get a little more oomph. And looks like we're sitting at 14 miles an hour in pedal assist 3. Pedal assist 4, we're getting about 16 And then in pedal assist 5, looks like it just wants to give us 20, 21. But the claim top speed is 28. So I don't know if there's a setting you can change, but it looks like out of the box, yeah, it feels like the motor cuts out right there. All right, I'm gonna check in on this. There's probably a setting I have to change, but the motor's cutting out at right at 20, 19, right at 19, 20 miles an hour. And uphill, let's see how we do. Throttle only. Yeah, we're off. Oh, that dropped us down a battery. How far are we? We're 3 miles in. Brake check. How do you know the brakes work? Turn right. What do we have here? Let's see if we can't test out this suspension and these fat tires on some stairs. All right, here goes another hill climb test. 6 miles an hour, Mustang car, followed by Chevy truck, and we're off. All right, it's time to get out of this side of the neighborhood, go see what else we can find. All right, let's go check out some sailboats. Let me at least lock up this first. Oh, hello, train. So even though these suspension forks don't have lockout or adjustment features, they still have, I think, 80 millimeters of travel, and that should be plenty enough for regular use. And we are 4.5 miles in, and we're still showing 5 bars of battery. The claimed range is 65 miles. I don't think we'll get anywhere near that, but maybe we'll get 20 or so. Let's keep going and find out. I'm also noticing at this point that it didn't come with a horn. Just one of those ways that you cut a few corners to save on price. You can definitely add one, but it would be nice if it came with one, especially if you use public trails like I do. Okay, I figured out how to unlock the top speed. You'll see right now, with no weight on it, gets up to 19. But if you hold down plus and minus to get to the settings, press the headlight button to get to P3, setting 3, and then you change that from 0 to 1, that will increase the speed to 28, like so. Now 29, 28 miles an hour. So now we should be able to get those 1300 watts of peak output and that 28 mile per hour top speed. Let's see. All right, we've got a railroad crossing. Gonna need this. Yeah, you can really feel that power boost now that I changed that initial setting. So now let's go ahead and get on it. We got 22. Ooh, gotta slow down a little bit. Again, this is where it would be nice to have a horn, but right, beautiful downtown Bellingham. Wow, they have such nice green boxes here. Now let's see if we can't get that top speed, 20. Whoa, try that again. It's gonna go around here. Let's see what that top speed is again. Oh, we'll have to try up here. All right, top speed test, take 27. All right, we're still getting juice for f***ing A. Screw this. Here's the first look inside that box. We got the rack, we got the seat. Let's go ahead and cut some of these main wire ties. Here's that 26-inch tire. Jeez, these things are like motorcycle tires, almost. And the brakes are 180 millimeters. Here's that down tube with the internal battery. And the branding on this bike looks pretty cool. We'll get that battery out in just a minute. Here we have that Ausom branded motor. And in our box we have a dry Niu KQi2 style pedals. We have our user manual. In here we have a small toolkit, and we have the front skewer. So we have our kickstand, definitely gonna have to put this on. And then of course, we have our TST charger. It should be a 3 amp. Yep, it is a 3 amp charger. So this is a little bit of a faster charger than you usually get. See, here we have the keys. Here's the keyhole for the battery, and down here is the charging port. And if we drop this battery out, There is the battery size of the internal battery, and it is a 48 volt, 15 amp hour battery, totaling 720 watt hours. And I am gonna get this guy charging. All right, 3 amp charger, do your best. Next, we install the kickstand, and I'm gonna put this whole thing together using the supplied toolkit. Okay, the kickstand goes behind this bracket, and then you install these. So we don't need this, but we do need this and this. Oh, gotta put in the skewer first. Try that again. All right, front tire works. And here's that LCD. Is there any kind of screen protector? Doesn't look like it. Just this was the screen protector. And the fender and headlight assembly goes on like so. Fender, headlight, screw. And then of course the fenders. Ta-da! Next is the pedals. Now for that seat. Got their logo and website right here. And this is kind of plasticky. You know, I'm gonna keep an eye on this and let you guys know how comfortable it is. The forks don't have lockout or micro adjustment features. These tires are a little bit flat, so we're gonna pump them up. But it is 2024, so I'm not gonna use this thing. I'm gonna pump it up with this. There we go. And it definitely looks like an old iPad Mini. You just attach their pneumatic hose, turn the power on, set your PSI, just turn it on, and 20 PSI. So if you're gonna get a fat tire e-bike, you might want an air pump like that. And then we have those really nice straight mountain bike style handlebars. And we have a 7-speed shifter, and this is not the throttle. Over here on the left-hand side is the throttle. And I do not see a charging port for your phone anywhere. Okay, let's hop up on this thing and see how it feels. Again, I'm 6 foot even, and it looks to be a pretty good solid size to me. I believe the recommended rider height is 5'3" to 6'4". Go ahead and lower the seat. You know, if you're a really tall guy or you like a really high ride, and if we were to do a little measurement here, the standover height would be right around 28, 29 inches. Would you look at there, the battery's fully charged and ready to go. We'll just slide that full battery. We'll just slide that back in there. And the wheelbase is 45.5, 46 inches. And if we step into the cockpit, turn the power on, we have a nice color display. Pretty simple, but it looks like we have the pedal assist, the miles per hour, and your battery capacity. It's like we have 5 levels of pedal assist. That turns on our headlight. And let's go ahead and peel this off. That battery weighs 8.8 pounds. Then the bike and I together weigh 246. And if we subtract from that my weight of 184, it should be right around 71 pounds. Another hill climb test. Again, shouldn't be a problem because of that 1300 watt. Will we get green all the way up? Let's see. Ah, beautiful bike lane. And we're just coasting right up this. See if we can't get that top speed test on a little bit of an incline. 22, 23, still is giving us juice at 25, 25, 26, 27. Yeah, that seems about right. It's a little bit of a headwind. Looks like I got it to right at 27 miles an hour. Ooh, windies. God, I love these bike lanes. Look at how awesome this bike lane is. Can you believe this right now? Oh, travel with care. How nice. Look both ways. All right, we just crossed 10 miles. And one of the things I have to notice, the mechanical shifter is right where the quarter twist grip throttle usually is. You might find yourself doing this. But having that said, the shifting is great. I just realized I didn't really tighten down the LCD. Good thing for me, I brought the toolkit. Battery and the toolkit. And we should be good. Yeah, much better. This is a KMC chain, and this drivetrain is pretty quiet. And that chain guard is double-sided, so you have less of a chance of your chain slipping off. And here's those Niu pedals. Again, this is the TST Defender in black, but there's also a gray option. Now these grips are a pretty high quality rubber. They don't feel plasticky or cheap. Now I also wasn't entirely sure how this Hovsco hub motor was going to perform, but we're over 10 miles in and it seems to be doing pretty good. It's not overheated or anything like that. Now the seat after 10 miles does feel a tad plasticky down here, but the seat itself, it's been comfortable enough so far. How do we get out of here? I'm a little bit lost. Let's see, where do I go from here and pull over? Well, we're here. We are almost 11.5 miles and we still have 3 bars out of 5. All right, facing the downhill. We got that 26, brake check. The brakes work. I'd say those radius brakes work. Other things to note, like, yeah, this LCD, it's pretty basic, but I actually wouldn't knock that, especially if you're on the market for your first e-bike. It's so intuitive and simple to understand. I mean, Fairhaven. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bells and whistles on other e-bikes, and just to have just your pedal assist, your headlight, and your on-off switch. And the fat tires are just brutal. I mean, just looking down at these things the whole time you're riding, I don't want to say motorcycle, but it gives you the feeling you're riding a small motorcycle, an electric mountain bike motorcycle. All right, so we're right at 16 miles, so we're about to head back so I can give you my official range results. But before we do that, I'll tell you a little bit about what I like and don't like. All right, Tacoma. Meanwhile, things that I like about this e-bike include the handlebars and the grip, super high quality. I like how simple and intuitive the LCD is. The fat tires are great. They don't have hippo skin, but they've worked well for me so far. I also like the suspension. It's nice and simple. You don't always need a lockout and adjustment features, so this feels pretty good for me. The top speed of 27 miles per hour is what you'd expect. I also really like the frame. I like the frame design. I like the branding on it. I like the internally housed motor. That's always a nice feature. Things I don't like, maybe the seat, but that's an easy fix. That's a $20, $30 fix right there for something nice on Amazon. The frame is also really durable, and despite having those 26-inch tires, the bike is really agile. I think because it's got a slightly narrower wheelbase. I also like the fenders. Not much to say there, but they work and they're quiet. Oh my God, and look at that buck. Oh my goodness, a buck. Huh, we have deer. The brakes work great. No complaints about the braking at all. I do like that the accessories are free, the fenders and the rear rack, those are included. I do like that. And again, if you are looking to buy this, you'll get the best price, and if I have any discount codes as well, they'll be in that first link in the description. This is also a great bike for a first-time e-bike purchase. There's not as many bells and whistles, no app. It's just straightforward. Pedal assist and throttle, motor and battery. Okay, so it looks like we just crossed 19 miles and we have 2 out of 5 batteries. So that's 40% and 19 miles. That would give us right around 31 or 32 miles. Now let's see how easy it is to get in the back of the car. I'm gonna put this in back tire first. This is my new Revibikes Cheetah Plus, and it is one of the coolest looking, most vintage style electric bikes on the planet. You can also see it has the $250 rack and fender bundle, and in the $130 saddlebags, I have some of my camera equipment for today's adventure.
And if you watch to the end, I'm also going to go ham on it at the skate park.
First, just who is this e-bike even for?
Well, it's a vintage-style electric bike designed for riders who appreciate a unique, head-turning riding experience. Much like the rock and roll youngsters of the 1960s, people who like this e-bike might be less concerned with having the highest spec rideable and more concerned with having the best-looking one.
Sorry, that ground's a little bit wet there. But don't get me wrong, the Cheetah and Cheetah Plus are spec'd pretty dang high, with 1200 watts of peak output coming from that rear hub motor. It's also for riders who want quality components. Things like
Tektro hydraulic disc brakes, a Shimano 7-speed mechanical drivetrain, and those brutally large 26x4-inch fat tires from Kenda. Because not only does it have a much better than average payload capacity of 440 pounds, but
once he's on the bike, between the tires and the low center of gravity and that hub motor, this thing is really easy to manage. It's also surprisingly fun to walk around with. When you need to stop the Cheetah, it's pretty easy with these brakes. Now this is a 180mm rotor, which is plenty adequate for this bike's size and weight.
The brake levers also include motor inhibitors, which enhance safety by reducing stopping distances. The tank cover is made from leather, which offers a great textured feel. The Plus model is also heat stamped with the Revibikes logo, which I think adds a touch of elegance without being overly flashy.
And speaking of flashy,
it has a 2000 lumens moto-style headlight that not only adds to the vintage cafe racer aesthetic, but also features high-intensity LED chips that are more efficient and longer lasting than regular bulbs. There are even high and low beams. And of course, you know that means this thing also has a tail light. The Plus has adjustable height handlebars, a bright and legible LCD, a 750-watt Bafang hub motor that not only peaks at 1200 watts,
but helps deliver a claimed 28 mile/hour top speed, which we'll fact check right now. We have 20 miles an hour, 23, 24, 25, 25.8, 26, 26.4 on throttle only.
As well as a 17.5 amp-hour battery pack that can deliver up to 65 miles if you baby it.
Speaking of which, I've actually been performing a range test since we began this video, in which I'm currently 11.5 miles into, and we're showing about 3 out of 5 bars left. Now stick around to see my final results. Now I should tell you that the Cheetah Plus you see here
is an upgraded version of the original Cheetah, so you might want to know the differences between the two. For starters, the Plus has an additional 2.5 amp hours of battery,
which should translate to 15 to 20% more range.
The Plus also has hydraulic disc brakes instead of mechanical.
The Crusade tires have K-Shield puncture-resistant casing. Pop, pa, whoop-pa, whoop-pa. And this is what the inside of the box looks like. Here is the front tire. It is a Kenda brand fat tire. The front disc brake is 180 millimeters, and they are spoked rims with a Schrader valve. And the size is 26x4 inch with knobby tread. Cheetah. And here's the seat post. Dang, that's a big seat post. We also have this box, which we'll get into in a minute. And now for the big reveal.
Oh, it's heavy.
One of the first things I'm noticing is just how much longer this frame is than most of the electric bikes that I ride. And now let's get the rest of the zip ties. Ho, ho, ho. Look at that beautiful tank. Now let's spin it around to finish the unboxing. There's our nice little LCD. And one thing to note, this thing is slim. This thing is like an iPhone. We'll turn that on in just a moment. Rear swing arm. This mystery box with here's our headlight. It almost looks like a motorcycle headlight. All right, our pedals. Get those on in a minute. We have a sticker, a couple of tools, our instruction manual, and some kind of bracket, most likely for the headlight. And then our charger is branded D-Power. I think that's a D. D-Power, and it is rated for, it is a 2 amp charger. Ew. We'll get to putting this on later. Box 3, in which we have our fenders. Fender 1, fender 2, rear fender, and the front fender. The headlight grill. These are for the fenders. And the rear rack. Instructions on how to put on the rear rack. Oh, this is gonna take a while. And then I guess we'll figure out what this is later. It's some kind of tie-down strap. Don't need this, but we do need this. Try it again. Finally. We'll get that chain on in just a second. We have the Shimano Altus derailleur, and the Bello branded saddle has a pretty generous surface area. The rear disc brake is 180 millimeters. And presto, we have a rear rack. I'm not sure if I'm gonna ride with the pannier pack, but here's what it looks like on. Pull this out to get the brake lights to work. And you can turn the tail light on, and a little switch. It has a Bafang hub motor, and to turn the battery on, the switch is right here. And if we step into the cockpit, the handle grips are brown leather and they have lockers on the inside as well as the outside. Okay, let's turn the power on here. Up here we have our power reading in volts, which is pretty cool. Our speedometer, our time riding, our mode, and our pedal assist. To increase or decrease the pedal assist, just press up or down. And if you short press the power button when on, it'll cycle through eco, normal, and power mode. Oh, and when you turn it off, you get a nice goodbye. And then over on the right handle grip, we have a bell, a 7-speed Shimano shifter, and a quarter or half twist grip throttle. The brakes are Tektro, and we have the Class 3 e-bike sticker. Now I couldn't really find the recommended rider height for this e-bike, but I'm 6 foot even, and here's what I look like with the seat on the shortest setting. Here it is again with the seat on the highest setting. Believe it or not, it just started raining on us here in the Pacific Northwest, but up here at the front, you can see there are solid front forks,
which may increase range ever so slightly, but they definitely do not absorb shocks like suspension forks would, meaning the Cheetah isn't really meant for all-terrain usage.
And, useful fact, fat tires also provide a larger contact patch,
which improves grip and stability.
And again, I'm gonna ride this thing at the skate park in a minute to test that. On the mechanical side, the Cheetah Plus uses a 7-speed cassette with a Shimano Altus derailleur
that connects to the 40-tooth chainring crank via a KMC chain that is designed specifically for e-bike use.
The crank arms are aluminum and branded Pro Wheel. The pedals have reflectors and nubbies to keep your feet from sliding off. And the chain guard comes to a point, and the cadence sensor is located right here. My monopod. And this rack is also an accessory. It holds an additional 50 pounds and comes with these neat little elastic bungees to hold down your stuff. It's part of the $250 rack and fender bundle that also includes these aluminum front and rear fenders that are powder coated with a black matte finish, as well as the grille that attaches to the headlight for added cool factor. Now in a moment, I'm going to take this bike to the skate park. First, I should tell you what I think about it. After all, it is a pretty pricey e-bike.
But do keep in mind, if you use that first link in the description, you'll be taken to the most discounted price available, including $600 off for this Labor Day weekend. Anyways, what do I think?
Yeah, it's heavy, it's hard to store, it's nearly impossible to transport in a car. But outside of that, I really like the Cheetah. It may not have those blistering 60-volt, 45-mile-per-hour top speeds that you could get in this price range. But then you'd have to worry about legal issues and even the cops chasing you, and nobody wants that. The Cheetah Plus has the perfect amount of power to have plenty of fun while staying well within the legal limits of a Class 3 e-bike. Now, before we reveal our range results, let's go check out that skate park. Skate park, so we're not going to do anything crazy, but let's just go ahead and ride it around and see what we can do. Well, there we have it. I managed to ride this thing around the skate park. And if we look at our range results, we're showing 15.5 miles. We have one bar showing. So at 15 miles, if I do the calculation right, we get around 19.5 miles of range. And so, after all of this, is the Cheetah Plus worth the price? Well, it's definitely not a budget e-bike, but what it is an experience.
It's an e-bike built to cruise on and be seen on.
If this video has helped you on your purchasing journey, be sure to tell the company that I sent you by using that first link in the description. It does help the channel grow, and it also keeps me employed.
And I would also like to disclose that Revibikes did send this to me for free to provide my honest feedback and review. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on a ride today, and I hope you learned something. And most of all, I hope you found this video entertaining.
This is the Ausom Leopard, a powerful electric scooter with off-road ambitions, a striking angular frame, a pair of beefy 10-inch tires, and even a seat. In this video, we'll go over everything from the handlebar and controls to the seat, stem, and locking mechanisms, and everything in between. I'll also tell you my personal thoughts on the Leopard, share my range and speed test results, and answer some common questions people have about this scooter. You're watching Electric Rideables, and this is everything you need to know about the Ausom Leopard. Right off the bat, we can't look at this scooter without noticing the dual suspension setup and motocross style stance. The chunky 10x3 inch tires and beefy swing arm suspension make this a legit off-roader, while the wide deck and tall handlebars give it a commanding presence even when parked. One of the key features of the Ausom Leopard is its motor. It uses a 48-volt, 1,000-watt rear hub motor, which delivers solid performance for both city commuting and a little bit of light off-road use. I found the acceleration to be smooth and responsive, especially in the higher speed modes, and the motor provides enough torque, 25 Newton meters to be exact, to handle moderate inclines effectively. Now here we are going for the top speed. We are in the highest speed setting, which is 3, and we topped out right at 25 miles per hour, which is more than enough for most urban riding scenarios. Now let's talk about the design. The all-black aluminum frame is angular and aggressive with a military-esque vibe. It looks serious. And I appreciate the IP54 water resistance rating, as I live here in the Pacific Northwest where it tends to rain a lot. The deck's grip tape is solid, the welds are clean, and the cable routing is mostly internal, which gives it a premium, uncluttered look. And everything that comes out of the frame is zip tied up pretty nice and looks pretty clean. Now the suspension, the Leopard uses a dual spring system in the front and rear, and it's surprisingly plush yet firm. It smooths out sidewalk cracks, gravel, and even light trail use without breaking a sweat. That said, the scooter does weigh a smidge under 70 pounds, so don't expect to bunny hop up curbs or anything. Going down them, however, is nice and smooth. And what about the battery? We're looking at a 48-volt, 20.8 amp-hour lithium battery with 998 watt-hours of usable capacity. That gives a claimed range of up to 52 miles, though I'll show you my real-world results in just a bit. And if curious, charging from 0 to full takes about 10 hours with the included 2-amp charger. Alright, we'll go ahead and leave that on the charge for a minute. The brakes are solid and massive. You get dual zoom hydraulic disc brakes with giant 140mm rotors. Now that may not sound like much, but they seriously cover the entire rim of each tire. Stopping from high speeds feels controlled and responsive, and that's essential when you're riding a scooter that can go upwards of 30 miles per hour. The handlebar setup includes a very nice bright and colorful LCD display that's super easy to read, even in direct sunlight. The left-hand grip has the headlight on-off switch, and speaking of which, it's very bright. It also includes a brake light and 4 side lights for increased visibility and added safety. And at this point, if you're interested in electric rideables and you're not subscribed, you should go ahead and subscribe. We have a lot more great content on electric rideables coming up. But back to the review. Underneath the headlight switch are the turn signals and horn. On the right handle grip, you have the thumb throttle and power on-off switch. And in order to power the Ausom Leopard on, you have to first insert one of the 2 included keys. You also get standard controls, mode button, horn, turn signals, and a 3-speed selector. The 10-inch off-road pneumatic rubber tires grip well in both wet and dry conditions. I took it over gravel, grass, and even some light sand usage and had no slippage. The handlebar folding mechanism is secure, sturdy, and locks safely into place. The seat folding mechanism is a little less intuitive, but with a little finagling, it's easy enough to get down. All in all, I'm quite impressed. The Ausom Leopard is a beastly scooter with good power, solid range, and very quality components, and it's priced at $699, well below a lot of the other scooters in this range. And speaking of which, if this review helps you out and you want to learn more about the Ausom Leopard or get one for yourself, feel free to use that first link in the description. And next up, here's a little unboxing and assembly for you. There's the insides to the scooter. The seat, as well as what we were looking for, the instructions. Let's try the key. Putting the key on, and then hold the function button for 3 seconds. There's our beautiful LCD. Mode 3, all the way up to 37. That's showing 30. Wow, that's showing 37 miles an hour. All right, now let's hurry up and get back to that reveal. In actuality, I find the Ausom Leopard is a performance scooter that doesn't pretend to be anything else. It's aggressive, fast, planted, and confidence-inspiring. It won't fit everyone's lifestyle, especially if you need something a little more lightweight. But if you're after speed, torque, and off-road versatility in a sub-$700 package, this is one of the best bang-for-buck scooters on the market right now. Morning.
Hello.
This is the Vtuvia SN100, and it's not only one of the best hunting e-bikes on the market, but it also has a 750 watt rear hub motor and a 48 volt 15 amp hour battery pack, which we're currently in the middle of testing. If you stick with me on this ride along and review, we're also going to test the top speed, 27, do some all-terrain tests, take it down some stairs, and of course, we're going to unbox and assemble it. And if interested in buying your own, the first link in the description of this video will take you to the most discounted price on the internet. Some of my initial thoughts on this bike are having that 26 by 4 inch tire. It's super large. It almost feels like a motorcycle tire. It just has a bigger feel. I guess I haven't ridden as many 26 inch tires. Another thing I'm noticing is the headlight is mounted to the frame, so when you turn the handlebars, the headlight stays going straight. All right, I'm gonna do a full throttle launch on this one. We got our thumb throttle and 3, 2, 1, go. Not the strongest takeoff, but it's picking up nicely. We're 3.2 miles in and we've already used 9%, giving us 91% battery left. Anyways, now let's test out some of the mechanical shifting at Happy Valley Park. Now while we're here, I'm going to leave all of the electronics off and just see if you're able to pedal this big old e-bike without the motor on. Let's see. So we're in second gear, no pedal assist. Third gear, go this way. And yep, you can pedal the SN100 without electricity. And that's just a good thing to know if you're ever out riding somewhere and you run out of battery. Can you bike it home? Okay, so now we'll kick on that pedal assist. And that with that torque sensor, it's so gentle when it kicks on. It's a lot different from a cadence sensor. Enter urban rotary trailhead. Okay, and now we're coming up to a great spot to do our incline test. I'm gonna try it from a standstill. You can see this little trail. It's about a 20% incline. And 3, 2, 1. All throttle, showing 350, 300. There it goes. Now we're getting the power. We're in pedal assist 1, and I'd say we're getting right at 10 miles an hour, 9, 10 miles an hour. In pedal assist 2, we're getting about 11 and a half. In pedal assist 3, looks like we're getting 16 or 17. Pedal assist 4 gets you about 21 and a half miles an hour, 22, we'll say 22. Not enough runway for pedal assist 5 on that one. All right, pedal assist 5. Pedal assist 5 will give you juice all the way up to 26, right at about 26. Woo! 3, 2, 1. 7, 9, 10, 12, 18, 20. This is a pretty quick bike. 24 and a half. Let's see if I get lower. Okay, me with the headwind, I'm getting right at 25 miles per hour. All right, let's go do some other stuff. Now let's do some agility riding at the splash park. Test out these tires and the suspension. It's splash proof. Water here, that should be all right. Pack sand test, take 1. Not a problem at all. These 26-inch tires tear up pack sand. Not even a problem. Looks like we found a poor jellyfish. Got stuck at low tide. Jellyfish. Ew. And it is currently 62 degrees and cloudy. And unbox. Here is the seat, branded Velo with a comfort groove. This is what the inside of the box looks like. These tires are Kenda brand, 26 by 4 inch tires with this really cool reflective strip. They are spoked rims, which decrease weight, and the valve is a Schrader valve. And the disc brake on the front is 160 millimeters. And here's the big reveal. Let's get off the rest of these zip ties. The front suspension fork, branded Mozo. Here's the headlight. Now for the battery reveal. And I almost forgot about this box. Let's see, inside we have instructions. We have our pedal, got a little unbranded toolkit, front skewer, and your charger. Interesting, it's branded, you can see that, KQi2. And it's a 2-amp charger. And that should be charged in a few hours. Upside down screen protector removal. They have some branding here, V plus a charge, and their slogan, riding is the scenery. They also have some kind of logo back here. Here is the SN100 branding. We don't need this, but we do need this. The hub motor is branded Vtuvia. Let's get these pedals on. We also have a 7-speed cassette with a tourney derailleur. We have your typical Shimano 7-speed shifter, rubber grip, a screwed on end cap, and a thumb throttle. We'll see how this does in a minute. On this side, you could see the branding, but on this side, it's hidden underneath the Shimano shifter. That's a little bit cramped. Let's power this thing on. You get your battery percentage, your speed, your trip, and your pedal assist level. Cycle through the pedal assist, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little hidden feature down here that I always tend to use. I got a USB charger. I am 6 foot even. Here's what I look like standing over it with the seat at the tallest height. And if we lower the seat to the shortest height, this is what it's like. So it is for a little bit of a taller rider. And this tire's pretty flat, so we're gonna pump it up. But to do so, I'm gonna use this Cyc Plus bicycle tire inflator. See, it's got the unit itself, and then some plugs, and an instruction manual. Put these plugs on first. Oh, look at there. Man, that is nifty. It's a Schrader valve. Then you can just almost put it inside of your spokes, screw it on, and then just turn it on. This thing is great if you ride anything with a fat tire. If interested, I'll leave a link to this in the description. Pretty bumpy, all on throttle. We have 18 and a half, 19, 20 miles an hour. I think we could have got 21, but that was basically 20 miles an hour in the grass. We've done a little bit over 5 miles. We've been riding it really hard, and we have about 74% battery. And the gravel riding really just feels perfect. If you've got gravel trails in your neighborhood, this is a perfect bike for it. We're on full throttle. Looks like we're putting out 560 watts, and we're just gonna ride it as hard as we can. We have 68% battery left, though I know if I let off the throttle, that would probably go up. I am pedaling a little bit to see if I can help it out. So far, this hill climb is a breeze. Right now we're going 15 miles an hour, 12. Is it gonna make it all the way to the top? And we made it. As per usual, this is right where my phone starts to die. So not only will we be riding this bike hard, but we'll be doing so while charging my iPhone. And to turn on the charging capabilities, you need to press and hold the mode button. I'm gonna try to go to the pier and back without putting our feet down at all. Pigeon doesn't know where to go. Neither do those. All right, now can we get back up the stairs? See, right now we're putting out 325 watts, going 18 miles an hour. Oh yeah, it's like we're hunting now. Ow, that was a thorn bush. Let me get out of here. I can definitely feel the hard tail, but what I'm really feeling is all the thorns. Yeah, back on the road. Looks like we are now in Fairhaven. Yeah, that torque sensor just makes the interaction between the mechanical system and the electrical system a lot more fluid. And one more thing about the battery and its location. Yes, it's really convenient for getting the battery off of the bike frame, but they usually have 2 accessory mounts right here. And so with this frame design, you actually lose those. Okay. anyone want to go under the bridge. The handle grips on this thing, they also feel really good. Which brings me to those brakes. And the brake levers are hydraulic Logan brake levers. Filled up with mineral oil. Here's the action right out of the box. And they go all the way down to 4-piston hydraulic calipers. The rotors on the front and rear are 160 millimeters. Here is the most informative plaque ever. Now this suspension is Mozo suspension. It has 120 millimeters of travel. It's a lot of travel, so it makes for a really springy, comfortable ride. On the right, it has lockout feature with pretty legible instructions. Open, lock. And then on the right-hand side, you have micro adjustments. And I'm noticing also it doesn't ship with a bell. And you use public trails like I do. It's nice to have a bell, but thankfully the brakes are squeaking so everyone can hear me. Yeah, I actually took this thing to the beach the other day and I accidentally busted the battery box. The batteries are fine, but I busted open the clip on the battery box. Check it out. I got my shoe all wet and I just broke open the battery box. Not sure if, oh, there it goes. Now I'm like, yeah, I think I might have broke a clip or something on it when I went over that bump so fast. Yeah, we're 11.25 miles in. We're still showing 3 bars, but we might have about 50% and 11.5 miles. Yeah, it's starting to rain, but look at this thing. And if you are interested in getting the Vtuvia SN100 for yourself, check out that first link in the description. It'll not only take you to the best price available, but it also helps the channel grow. And now let me tell you who I think this e-bike is for. So just who is this e-bike for? Of course, this camo paint job makes it great for the outdoor enthusiasts and hunters. It's also great for taller riders. The SN100 would also make a great first e-bike. There's not a lot of confusing features. Everything is super solid. All the parts are quality. The buttons are nice and simple. The LCD readout is very simple and it can charge your phone. There we go with some trail riding. And if riding trails or mountain biking is your thing, the SN100 is definitely capable. It doesn't have full suspension, it's a hardtail. Just expect a hardtail mountain biking riding experience. But let's give it a little bit of juice and see how we do. Fun. That was fun. When you get your bike dirty, you gotta get it clean. Jumps up bombs. All right, so we are just about 17 miles in. Looks like we're showing right around 30%, maybe 40. And the rain is starting to come down pretty hard. I also really like the suspension, that Mozo suspension fork with all that travel. Some things I don't like, outside of getting absolutely soaking wet for this ride-in review, no, other than that, there isn't much. I think you get a lot of value. If you are interested in the SN100, use that first link in the description. It'll take you to the best price, along with any discount codes I might have. And it helps support the channel in these reviews. And here's how it fits. Looks like we have right at 28%, and we did 20.88 miles total, and we used up about 72% of the battery, so that should give us right around 29, maybe 30 miles. Sorry about my voice. If a claimed range of 52, I was not expecting to get that at all. And if the...
Hi everyone, this is the D3F folding mini e-bike from DYU Cycles. It's compact, sturdy, simple to set up and ride, and probably the safest e-bike you could ever buy as a first-time e-bike purchase. Now, DYU did send this to me to review for you, but I assure you I did ride it around for a few weeks and I do have some honest feedback. The majority of it is good, but there are a few things that I did not like. More on that in a moment. The first thing I would say about the D3F is how simple it is to own and operate. There are no shifters, cassettes, or derailleurs as it's a single-speed bike with a 12-tooth gear in the rear and a larger 38-tooth gear in the front. And while some might not like a single speed, I found this to be a breath of fresh air as it adds to the simplicity of purchasing your first e-bike. In fact, this bike is probably the least complicated e-bike you could ever own, and it's a seriously good deal coming in at under $500. If you're inclined to learn more about the D3F or to buy one for yourself, we hope you'll use the link in this video's description, as it not only takes you to the current best price in your region, but we also negotiate discounts with the manufacturers that we work with specifically for our viewer. My next favorite thing about the D3F is its portability. Featuring small 14-inch by 2¼ tires, handlebars and pedals that fold, and a lightweight frame, this bike can be stored almost anywhere. And while most standard e-bikes weigh between 50 and 100 pounds, the DYU D3F weighs a mere 38 pounds, or 17 kilograms if you're on the metric system. And despite that lower weight, the D3F still feels pretty hardy, supporting a total weight of up to 265 pounds. Personally, I'm 6 foot even and about 175 pounds, and I had no trouble riding this bike whatsoever. Another thing that I love about the D3F is that the electronics and battery housing has a nifty cutout section that allows you to grip the frame like a handle. This is great if you live in an apartment and have to bring your e-bike up or downstairs. It's also great for lifting the bike in and out of your vehicle's trunk. And while the D3F doesn't fully fold in half like some other e-bikes, the handlebars do fold to one side, and the seat post can be removed completely, resulting in folded dimensions of 46 by 8 by 28 inches. And to take portability even one step further, when I was putting the D3F into the shed on my back porch, I noticed that the pedals can actually be folded too. While this only saves a few inches on either side of the bike, this clever feature could be the one thing that helps you fit your new e-bike into a nice slotted area in your garage or apartment. So in terms of portability, the DYU D3F definitely gets an A+ from us. Now let's run down the operating buttons. The left-hand grip has the power on-off button and an adorable little bell. The right-hand grip is where the battery indicator and headlight on-off buttons are located. To turn the headlight on, hold down the button for 3 seconds. But be careful though, as the light runs off the internal battery and, at least on mine, the light did not turn off on its own. It should also be noted that the headlight is mounted to the frame and not the fork, so the headlight does not turn to match the steering direction. Oh, and the rear tail light is battery operated, so it won't drain your battery. The right hand grip is a full-size twist grip throttle, which I tend to like more than thumb or half grip throttles. It just gives you kind of a motorcycle feel. And speaking of which, the D3F is legally classified as a Class 2 e-bike in the US, meaning it has a motor and throttle, but won't exceed 20 miles per hour. In fact, the D3F has a top pedal-assisted speed of 15.5 miles per hour, which is pretty much what I saw during my testing. The 10 amp-hour battery pack is located within the central plastic housing unit and features 360 total watt-hours of capacity. And speaking of charge, the charge port is located on the bottom right-hand side of the electronics housing unit. The design of the D3F really is quite unique. The flat black paint job with red trim and mag tires ties the design together holistically and reminds me of the paint job from the A-Team van. Yeah, A-Team. Another thing I really appreciate about the design of the D3F is how well the wiring is integrated into the frame. The brake lines and electric cables have this twisted hard plastic wrap that kind of resembles an old phone cord. The headset and handle grips really feel nice and sturdy in your hands. There is no front or rear suspension, which is typical for an e-bike in this price range, but the included front and rear fenders work great at keeping dirt and mud off of your clothes. There is also a single-sided crankset chain guard that keeps the chain from coming off, as well as keeping your pant legs clean. Oh, and did I mention this sweet little kickstand? So, just who is this e-bike for? I think the D3F is perfect for anyone looking to spend about $500 on an extremely portable e-bike.
I also think the simplicity of the D3F, when coupled with the lower top speed of 15 miles per hour, make this the perfect option for anyone looking to dip their toe into the world of e-bikes for their first time. The single-speed freewheeling crank means there are no complicated shifters to figure out, just pedal or throttle and go. Having this said, if you're an e-bike superstar with a quiver full of Aventon or Rad Power bikes, then Eureka! The D3F is absolutely the perfect e-bike for you. But I want to know your thoughts. Are you interested in buying the DYU D3F? If so, let me know in the comments down below. I'm really curious to know why and what you have to say.
This is the Addmotor M66, and it's not only one of the best looking Super 73 competitors, but it also has a 750 watt rear hub motor, a 48 volt 20 amp hour battery pack, which we're currently in the middle of testing, and this test ride is going to be about 20 miles long. Let's get going. We're also going to test the top speed. 3, 2, 1. Do a couple of all-terrain tests. Then of course, we'll talk about this beautiful seat. This bike also gets a rap for having a difficult pedaling position, but that's pretty common with all mopeds. So I'm going to talk about that too. So the seat, already I can tell, is super comfortable. It's 23 by 8.5 inches. They say you can put 2 people on it, but maybe that's for a little bit of a younger audience. But as far as the pedaling cadence, I feel good. I feel like I can pedal it if I want to, but in all honesty, if you're getting a moped style e-bike, you really just want to hit that throttle. So about this throttle, so this is a throttle that has an on-off switch and basically gives you 100% of the power at all times. But if you don't want to use that throttle, you can of course use the pedal assist. Now it's controlled by that 12 magnet cadence sensor that's basically an on-off switch for each of the 7 levels of pedal assist. We're doing about 8 and pedal assist 1. Pedal assist 2, we will go ahead and get out onto the road. Looks like we're doing, this is 12. After this stoplight, we'll blow through 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Clicking pedal assist 3, we're getting right at 12. And pedal assist 4, we're still in standard. Putting us right at 15. I'm seeing 15 here, 16. Their speedometer again is a little bit slow. Pedal assist 5, and again, I'm barely pedaling. I'm just doing it to kick the pedal assist on. This is really just a throttle e-bike. We're showing 19 on my speedometer. Pedal assist 6, we're showing 20 and 20 on my GPS. And pedal assist 7 could also be the top speed. We are going 23 and I'm pedaling pretty hard. Looks like I'm getting right at 23, 185 pound rider weight, 23. Yeah, it doesn't have much more after that, about 23 miles an hour. Make sure I have all the settings right. All right, yeah, and checked it. It looks like we are in all the right settings. Now we're going to test out this Shimano shifter with no pedal assist at all to see how easy the bike is to pedal if you've run out of battery. So we are in mechanical gear 1, and yeah, I mean, we're on pretty flat ground. I'll try riding it through the grass. Even though it's that heavy of a bike, you are able to pedal it without any electrical assist. Let me go up 1 more. 3. Yeah, but you're starting to get a workout, and that's why it's an electric bike. Well, let's get back to the electricity. There we go. Electric bike. Speaking of electricity, it looks like we are 6.5 miles in and we just dropped down to 80%. The 6.5 miles, 80%. Now before we get on to the suspension, the fat tires, the brakes, all that other stuff, I'd like to just take a second to appreciate this foot rest. You can hold your feet in, you can hold your feet out, hold your feet sideways. Just further emphasizing that you don't really need to pedal this thing. I've been pedaling it, but all moped style e-bikes are really just all about that throttle. Yeah, we got 800 watts output, 900 watts. And if you come back up to the handlebars, we have not 1, but 2 horns. That comes in great when you're riding on trails like I like to do. And 3, 2, 1, go. 1300 watts, 1390. Here we got 25, we got 23.7, 23.7. Same with the rest, we get 21.6, 22 miles an hour for the grass. There we go. Not bad, that hub motor that you can feel it kicking in with 400 watts. Let's see if we can burn it out a little bit. A little bit too early, but not too bad. Boy, the low tide smell is just wonderful. Well, let's go ahead and stop and check out the turn signal. Here's your left turn signal, and here's your right turn signal. Also, when you pull the brake lever, you get brake lights. But enough about those turn signals. How does this LCD work? So up here you have your battery capacity, and then you have your trip odometer, but if you press the power button, it'll go to your regular odometer. You press the power button again, you can get current speed, average speed, and max speed. And then down here you have your power output in wattage, and then you have 7 levels of pedal assist. And now that we've delved into the LCD, let's go ahead and talk about these brakes a little bit. Bike lane in, right? Brake check. A little bit of a skid there, but not too bad. The brakes are Tektro Aries mechanical disc brakes with padded 4-finger brake levers. They lead down to 180mm Tektro rotors with Tektro Aries calipers. And maybe one thing they could have added is some kind of cord. There's some way to keep all these cords together. There we go, 700 watts, 900, oh, I think it's 1200 watts. And I guess since we're here, we can try out some rocks. Got seaweed, it handles just fine. All right, that suspension fork is feeling pretty good. Anybody want to go surf? There is no rear suspension. I guess it would be considered a hardtail, but that front shock, it's an Addshocks front suspension fork, 80mm Krauss. Here's what that looked like. And also while we're here, on its 6-foot even, here's what I look like standing over it. It also has a kickstand back here. The kickstand works. All right, so it looks like we're 11.5 miles in. We're still showing 80% battery. Pretty good considering how much this bike weighs, but it is a 20 amp hour battery pack. Nice to ride it on a nice rocky beach. It handled pretty well. You won't get that with those smaller tires. That's thanks to the Chaoyang 4-inch fat tires, which are just beastly. These handlebars kind of feel like motorcycle chopper handlebars. Which brings me to a good question. Who is the Addmotor M66 for? Well, I think it could be for the youthful at heart, anybody who's wanting to get into that moped style e-bike scene without having to spend as much as you would on a Super 73 or even a Ghost Cat. That's where the Addmotor M66 comes in. The M66 is really about style. It's about wanting to show off, wanting to look cool amongst your friends and your colleagues. All day long, people have been doing double take to see what kind of bike I've been riding. That was a good time to perform a hill test. Full throttle, yes, putting out 1200 watts. Full throttle, can we keep getting green all the way up? Let's go for it. But yeah, as we're doing this hill climb, I could say, if you are looking to pick up this bike, if you use that first link in the description, it'll take you to the best price. And it also helps support the channel and my reviews. Now it's time to stop for the mandatory wheelie. And we definitely have to get back, but first, let's check out this beautiful harbor. And geez, we are 15.5 miles in. Looks like we just dropped down to 60% battery, so the range is doing pretty good. I've been on throttle and pedal assist, and I've been charging my phone the whole time. So it jumped back up to 80%. We're probably right around 75, at 70%. And 15 3/4 of a mile in. Brings me to some of the things that I like and maybe don't like about the Addmotor M66. For one, I do like how stylish it is. If you're looking for a Super 73, but you don't want to spring extra money. I believe these are $18.99 right now. Now, some of the other things that I like the handlebars, the 180 millimeter brakes. They're plenty enough to stop this beast, as heavy as it is. Things I don't like, it's not very compact, but I'll show you in a minute how easy it is to get into the back of your car. I didn't really care for the top speed of 23 miles an hour. I think it could have been more than that. I like the seat. I like the fenders. They're totally metal and they're quiet. This might be one of the best value low-end style e-bikes on the market. We are 3/4 of a mile short of 20 miles, and we're showing 3 batteries are about 60%. Now, I did have to loosen the handlebars, spin them down, but this is what it looks like in the back of a SUV. And we used 45% of the battery, so that should give us about 47 to 50 mile range for me, 185 pound rider. What if they...
This is the Niu KQi2 Pro, a sleek, ultra-portable electric scooter built for zipping through city streets. With a minimalist design, a 600-watt peak output motor, and Niu's smart tech integration, the KQi2 isn't just another budget scooter, it's a daily commuter's best friend. The one we're looking at here is the classic gray colorway with black accents, but there's also a white and gray colorway as well. In this video, I'll walk you through the build, motor, controls, as well as what it's like to actually ride this thing. I'll also share my speed and range results, and some personal thoughts on whether this compact ride lives up to the hype. You're watching Electric Rideables, and this is everything you need to know about the Niu KQi2 Pro. Right away, the KQi2 feels solid in a way that a lot of lightweight scooters don't. The frame is crafted from aluminum with a curved deck that's not just stylish, it feels real comfortable. You've got 10 by 2.3 inch tubeless tires that handle cracks and rough patches better than most scooters in this class. Powering it all is a 300 watt rear hub motor that peaks at 600 watts. It ain't gonna win any races against more expensive scooters, but hey, it's quick for its class. Here we are on flat pavement doing a top speed test in which I hit a top speed of right at 17 miles per hour, which is exactly what Niu claims, and I like that. It also accelerates quickly enough from a stop and does reasonably well on flat to mild inclines. But again, at 300 watts and $400, don't expect a rocket ship. You've got 2 ride modes. E-Save mode captures speed at about 9 miles per hour and gives you maximum range, while Sport mode unlocks that full 17 mile per hour top speed and gives you a zippier throttle response. Switching modes is easy via the handlebar mounted LED display, which I have to say is really bright, simple to use, and pretty intuitive. Short press once to switch modes. Short press twice to turn the headlights on and off. Short press 3 times to switch between miles and kilometers per hour. And while we're pressing things, if you like electric rideables like this, be sure to press that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future content. To get started on your KQi2 Pro journey, you have to download the app, pair the scooter, and complete the included tutorial. The entire process only took me a few minutes to complete though, and was only a minor hassle. The battery is a 48 volt, 365 watt hour lithium pack, giving you a claimed range of right at 25 miles. I'll reveal my real world range test in a moment, so stick around. Charging takes about 5 to 7 hours from 0 to full, using the included 1.5 amp charger. It's not lightning fast, but pretty standard for the 7.6 amp hour battery size. Now let's talk ride quality. The Niu KQi2 doesn't have suspension, but the ride still feels smooth thanks to those plush, super firm tubeless tires and the wide deck design. The wide handlebars give you real control, and the deck is roomy enough to stand comfortably without cramping your stance. This isn't one of those tiny scooters that'll make you feel like you're riding a toy. Well, maybe the bell does. Oh, and you get included grip tape that you can switch out, which is pretty nifty. Anyways, for braking, you get a drum brake in the front paired with regenerative braking from the rear hub motor. It's responsive and the regen kicks in gently. And lights? You bet! The KQi2 has a bright halo headlight with daylight running light and a rear brake light that flashes when slowing down. It also has a healthy amount of reflectors located all over the frame and handlebars. The folding mechanism is one of the most stable I've used. It clicks in firmly and doesn't feel wobbly at all. And the locking mechanism clicks in nice and tight and actually makes a really satisfying click. Unboxing. The only thing you really have to assemble out of the box is the handlebars. Just connect the power cable, insert the handlebar into the stem, and tighten all 6 of the included screws. So let's wrap it up with my real-world results. On mostly flat ground with a few mild hills, full throttle in sport mode, I covered 5.7 miles and about 45 minutes of riding, and according to the app, after the ride, I had 35% battery remaining, which would give a total range of just under 9 miles. And at only $399, the KQi2 Pro punches well above its weight. It delivers smart features, clean design, and dependable performance in a lightweight, commuter-friendly package. All in all, the Niu KQi2 Pro is a stylish and surprisingly capable electric scooter that nails the essentials and adds some smart features to boot. It's not built for off-roading or high-speed thrills, but for urban rides, daily commuting, or quick errands around town, it's a fantastic choice. Go ahead and hit that link in the description to check out current pricings or to learn more. And if you like slick rideables that are smart, efficient, and fun, don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is the Propella Mini from US-based Propella Bikes. It's a stylish and lightweight e-bike with a tumbler-sized battery on the down tube and very noticeably smaller 20-inch tires. In this video, we'll go over everything from the LCD all the way down to the color of the chain and everything in between. I'll also tell you my personal thoughts on the Mini after riding it around for a few months, reveal my range and speed test results, and I'll even answer some common questions people have about this e-bike along the way. You're watching Electric Rideables, and this is everything you need to know about the Propella Mini. First off, we can't look at this e-bike and not immediately recognize the shorter wheelbase and ultra-tiny 20-inch tires. These two features work in tandem to create a nimble ride, great for cruising around town or even riding at your local skate park. But what it mostly worked for me was making quick turns to avoid inevitable potholes, and the next thing that stands out to me is the design. With specialized blue anodized trim on the hubs, battery, seat, and handlebar grips, this e-bike has a unique look that I think makes it stand out from the sea of cookie-cutter e-bikes on the roads these days. The next thing to note is that there is no suspension on the Propella Mini. The front fork is rigid aluminum alloy with 100mm hub spacing and a 9mm axle with quick-release skewer, while the rear of the frame has 126mm of hub spacing and a 12mm slotted axle. The rear hub motor is a Beifang 250-watt nominal, 400-watt peak-geared hub motor that delivers up to 35 Nm of torque. Now, that isn't a lot of torque, sure, but thanks in part to how light this e-bike is, the total weight is a mere 35 pounds after all. The power has been adequate for my riding needs, and the battery, besides just looking cool and lighting up when you press it, is a 36-volt 7-amp-hour lithium-ion Samsung battery, totaling 252 watt-hours of usable juice. We'll review just how much range this gets you in a moment, but one of my favorite things about this bike is just how easy its battery is to remove and take inside for charging. It's more or less the size of a tumbler or Nalgene bottle, so it can fit in a bag or backpack. This is great if you have a situation where you just can't get your bike to a plug and you need that battery to be removed and transported easily. Then the Mini would more or less be my top choice. The range on the Mini, however, and as is the case with a lot of these smaller 36-volt e-bikes, isn't much, with the brand stating between 15 and 35 miles. Having this said though, stick around to see the results of my personal real-world testing. The top speed is 18 miles per hour, which feels plenty fast enough, especially considering the smaller sized tires. On the flip side of that, the braking power feels phenomenal. The second you engage the brakes, the bike just stops. I think this is largely due to the quality components the brand went with, including Shimano mechanical disc brakes with larger 160mm rotors and Shimano tourney calipers. Propella also opted out of a throttle for this particular model, making the Mini a Class 1 e-bike. Great if you need full access to ride your Mini nearly anywhere regular bikes can ride. However, it's bad if you like to do e-bike throttle donuts. The pedal assist is controlled by a sealed 12-magnet low-profile cadence sensor, which is located on the opposite side of the crankset. The sensor doesn't always match the pedal speed, and with it being a single gear, that can sometimes be noticed when pedaling. And speaking of pedal power, the Propella Mini is a single-speed freewheel bike with a 16-tooth freewheel in the rear and a large 50-tooth chainring up front. The pedals are aluminum Niu cage style, which I like, as they really stick to your feet more than plastic pedals do. The rims are that anodized blue with stainless steel spokes, and the wheels are 20 by 1.75-inch e-bike rated CST tires with Schrader valves. The tires are definitely on the small side, but that's the point. They handle great and the rubber really grips the road. And while we're talking about the tires, it should be noted that there are no fenders, or lights for that matter, keeping up with the brand's less is more minimalist aesthetics. Up in the cockpit, the steering is handled by extra-wide 660mm zoom handlebars that really give the Propella Mini a ride feel that I'd compare to that of a BMX. You can even lift up on the handlebars and do little bunny hops. The handlebar grips are grippy and feel high quality in your hands, not cheap or plasticky. The saddle is comfy enough for short rides and of course features that stellar blue trim. While the 2-inch backlit LCD is super simple to use and easy to read, just press up or down to cycle through one of the 5 pedal assist levels, and the mode button cycles through speed, trip, and odometer. I appreciate how the brand didn't overcomplicate anything, and the simplicity of this LCD is a prime example. And frankly, having all this said, this is just a really good-looking, unique-looking electric bike. We'll get to the testing results as well as my personal thoughts on the Mini in a moment, but first, here's a little unboxing and assembly ASMR for ya. And within the box, you get 1 front tire, 1 seat, 1 set of metal cage pedals, one seat post, 1 9mm skewer for the front tire, 1 2-amp charger with US plug, a useful all-in-one multi-tool, and of course the user's guide. To assemble, insert the skewer in the front tire. Then, mount it to the front fork. Next, insert both pedals into the crank arms and tighten them with the provided multi-tool or one of your own. Next up, mount the handlebars and faceplate, and tighten down the screws. Finally, insert the seat and seat post and voila, you're good to go. Next up is our PAS or pedal assist speed test. My testing revealed that in pedal assist 1, My Mini had a 6 mph top speed. In 2, we reached 8. In 3, 11 mph. 4 was right at 14. And of course, 5 got me right at 17 or 18 mph. All of this was all on flat terrain. As far as range is concerned, I got 14.72 miles on a full charge on my range test. This is slightly less than the stated minimum range, but I'm probably on the heavier side for this bike at 190 pounds, and the location I test in has a small to medium amount of hilly terrain. I also spent time in all 5 assist modes, with the majority of time spent in PAS3. My Strava app also tracked over 642 feet of elevation gain, which contributes heavily to battery loss. My max speed was 20.5 miles per hour, downhill of course, and my average speed was 8.7 miles per hour. But here's the thing I liked the most. I was riding for an hour and 41 minutes and 50 seconds. That's a lot of riding time. Having all this said, I really am enjoying the Propella Mini. I enjoyed that I was able to ride it for over an hour and a half on one charge with over 600 feet of elevation gain. I also enjoy the uncluttered, minimalist design of the Mini, as well as how light and nimble it is. I like the wide handlebars, the BMX feel, the removable battery, the stealthiness, and a lot more. Basically, the Propella Mini is an urban assassin, built to get you in and out of tight spots with its nimble and compact design. It isn't perfect, mind you, but with the Propella Mini, you aren't getting a run-of-the-mill experience. You're getting a unique rideable that stands out amidst the sea of boring cookie-cutter e-bikes.
This is the Magicycle Cruiser Pro Stepover. A rugged electric cruiser built for comfort, power, and long-range exploration. With a bold design, oversized tires, and a 52-volt system that means business, this is no ordinary e-bike. The model you see before you is Midnight Blue, and in this video, I'll walk you through the frame, controls, motor, battery, and all the ride details you need to know. I'll also share my personal take on the Cruiser Pro, share my range and speed test results, and answer some of the most common questions people ask about this beast of a cruiser. You're watching Electric Rideables, and this is everything you need to know about the Magicycle Cruiser Pro. Right off the bat, the Cruiser Pro makes an impression with its massive 26x4-inch Kinda-Fat tires, beefy front suspension fork, and oversized cruiser-style handlebars. Whether it's city streets, gravel paths, grass, or packed beach sand, this giant e-bike is ready to roll through just about anything. Let's talk about the motor. This bike comes with a powerful 750-watt rear hub motor that peaks at 1500 watts while delivering a stated 100 Newton-meters of torque. Translation, you really do feel that power the moment you twist the throttle. It does really well going up hills, riding on uneven terrain, and pushes the nearly 76-pound frame with surprising urgency. Here we are on the first top speed test, and I was able to hit a top speed of right at 20 miles an hour on throttle alone, and nearly 26 miles an hour while using pedal assist. And speaking of pedal assist, you've got 7 levels to choose from, each controlled by the 12-magnet cadence sensor. Design-wise, the aluminum frame is super sturdy, made from hydroformed 6061 aluminum alloy, featuring smooth welds and clean geometry that blend both utility and style. The internal cable routing adds to the bike's clean aesthetic, and anywhere you do see the wires is nice and tidy. The Magicycle Cruiser Pro also features the always popular Shimano 7-speed shifter with 7-speed cassette and a Shimano Altus derailleur. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? as well as a mechanical horn and mounting hardware for a front basket. The chain guard is double-sided, and the front and rear fenders work great and were surprisingly easy to install. And let's not forget that upright riding posture. The swept-back cruiser handlebars rise high and wide, letting you sit tall without leaning forward. And speaking of forgetting, if you like electric rideables, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future content. Now the battery, this is where the Cruiser Pro flexes a little. You get a 52-volt, 20-amp-hour lithium battery, giving you a claimed range of up to 100 miles in ideal conditions. I did a real-world range test with mixed terrain using the highest amount of pedal assist I could, and I'll reveal my results at the end of the video, so don't go anywhere. Charging the battery from completely dead takes right around 7 hours with the included 3-amp charger, which is actually pretty quick for a battery this size. Let's move on to comfort. The cruiser-style handlebars put your arms in a relaxed position. The padded saddle is wide and plush, and the front suspension fork does a solid job of soaking up general bumps in the road. It's not mountain bike suspension, but for urban riding and light trails, it's more than enough. For brakes, you get 180mm hydraulic disc brakes in the front and rear. The stopping power is pretty good, even at high speeds, and the brake levers feel responsive with minimal effort. Add in the fat tires and again, that longer wheelbase, and you've got a stable, confident ride that won't buck or bounce you unexpectedly. And, just for quick reference, here's all the size and measurements of the Magicycle Pro. The Smart Controller is a 52-volt, 750-watt FOC Smart Controller, and it's located right here. It features the IPX8 water resistance rating that appears to work pretty well. The LCD display is bright and easy to read, showing speed, battery level, PAS mode, and trip data. It even includes USB charging for your phone, which is always a plus for longer rides. And here's something I appreciate: integrated front and rear lights with a brake-activated rear light. It's a nice safety feature that some e-bike companies skip on, especially at this price point. And speaking of which, this bike is currently marked down from $23.99 all the way down to $13.99. If this review helps you make a purchasing decision, please feel free to use that first link in the description, as it will not only take you to the lowest price on the internet, complete with any discounts I may have found, but it will also help support the channel at no extra cost to you. Next up, here's a little unboxing and assembly for you. Now let's get back to the review. And as I mentioned before, it's currently priced around $13.99, which puts it solidly in the mid-range category. But it really punches above its class in terms of specs and ride quality. All in all, the Magicycle Cruiser Pro Stepover is a seriously capable e-bike with a commanding presence, smooth power delivery, and a range that blows past a lot of its competitors. It's not lightweight or tiny, but if you're after comfort, torque, and long-distance performance, this one is hard to beat. Again, hit that link in the description if you want to check out the latest deals or dive deeper into the specs. And now for the results. I tested the Magicycle Pro on mostly flat terrain with some light hills, and I stayed in mode 6 and 7 most of the time. My total ride time was a little under an hour, covering 7 miles, and with 78% battery remaining, that means we could have ridden about 32 miles total before running out of juice. I did ride it pretty hard during this test, so that can account for a lot of the range discrepancy. And if you want to see more e-bikes that crush hills, stretch ranges, and turn heads, hit that like button and subscribe. We've got a lot more electric rideables coming up, including...
This is the Maxfind FF Belt, a sleek, high-performance electric skateboard built for speed demons, skateboarders, and urban commuters who want more speed than they can probably handle. With dual belt-driven motors, a swappable battery system, and that sharp, futuristic deck design, the FF Belt isn't just another electric skateboard. It's a top-of-the-line, precision machine that means serious business. The one we're riding today is a stealthy matte black with carbon fiber texture. And in this video, I'll break down the powertrain, deck, wheels, remote, and what it actually feels like carving through streets at over 28 miles per hour. And yes, this thing easily reaches and maintains that speed. I'll also share range stats and my honest take on whether the FB Belt lives up to its premium price tag. You're watching Electric Rideables, and this is everything you need to know about the Maxfind FF Belt. Right out of the box, the FF Belt feels like a premium skateboard. The deck is made from carbon fiber composite, lightweight but tough, with an ergonomic concave shape that gives you grip and comfort even at high speeds. The standing platform is nice and wide, and the built-in handle makes carrying this board actually reasonable despite the powerful setup. And speaking of which, let's talk about that power. You're looking at dual 1500 watt belt motors with a combined 3000 watts of peak output. And yes, you can feel it. The acceleration is instant, powerful, and buttery smooth. In top speed, I hit over 28 miles per hour on a flat stretch and even faster on slight downhills. Range-wise, the base version comes with an 8.7 amp-hour Samsung 12S 3P 376 watt-hour battery that delivers a claimed range of 25 miles. But you can buy additional quick swap batteries to double or even triple your range. And speaking of which, I'll reveal my range results in a minute, so don't go anywhere. And if you like electric rideables like this one right here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And back to it. Charging time takes about 3 hours from dead with the included fast charger, which is pretty solid. Controls are handled by Maxfind's OLED remote. It's compact, responsive, and gives you all the info you need at a glance. But I wouldn't look at it too much while riding. If you did, speed, mode, battery level, and brake strength are all right there. You've got 4 riding modes and the braking feels reliable. And if curious to brake, all you have to do is hold the back button on the thumb throttle. Now let's get to the ride quality. This board rolls on 105mm or 4.1 inch tires with a softness rating of 78A, meaning these wheels are really soft and forgiving. It does not have traditional suspension, but the flex-free deck and large wheels absorb enough vibration to keep your knees happy. It's stiff, stable, and clearly built for carving hard. And yeah, it carves. The trucks are perfectly dialed out of the box, responsive without being too loose or too tight, and super predictable in turns. Braking is strong thanks to those belt motors with plenty of stopping power, even when you're cooking down a hill. While testing, I did also try to ride it over some wet grass, and well, let's just see how that went. And this is what the motor sounds like going full speed while unencumbered. And here's another bonus feature. With the FF belt, you also have a one-speed, one-direction RC vehicle on your hands. Pretty cool. Unboxing. The packaging was superb. Here's me removing the outside layer of the shipping material. And outside of the skateboard itself, you also get an instruction manual, a skate tool, the 3-amp UL fast charger, more plugs, and of course, the OLED remote with lanyard. Alright, the Maxfind FF belt is a powerhouse board for serious riders who want speed, torque, and top-of-the-line stealthy design. And at $899, it's definitely not a budget board. But you're getting performance that rivals brands well above that price point. Plus, you get the convenience of swappable batteries and a great build quality. It's not the lightest board, coming in at 24 pounds, and it is definitely not meant for beginners. But if you're after power, a smooth belt drive feel, and intermediate to advanced riding features in a slick carbon fiber package, the Maxfind FF belt delivers. And now for the range results. I rode for 6.26 miles, and I rode pretty hard with mild elevation change, and I still have 3 bars left. The battery meter on the left, FYI, is just for the remote, which I didn't fully charge before riding. And since 3 bars could be anywhere between 41 and 60%, that means we had an estimated range of between 10.6 and 15.7 miles. Thanks so much for taking a ride with me, and be sure to hit that first link in the description to learn more about this electric skateboard, as well as to use any discounts I may have found. And if you're into electric skateboards, scooters, and next-gen rideables, don't forget to like and subscribe. In this video, I'm going to ride the Jasion EB7 across the entirety of this 20-mile-long rail trail that skirts the outside of Seattle. We'll start the ride in this park right here with a 100% full charge, talk a little bit about the performance, and hopefully make it to the end with charge to spare. The first thing we did was zero out the odometer so we could accurately track the distance traveled. This is important because the stated range for the Jasion EB7 is 40 miles. However, the 20-mile-long rail trail we're riding on thankfully skirts the outer edges of Seattle, steering clear of those ultra-steep downtown streets. After 2.8 miles on the trail, we have 95% battery left. This speaks not only to riding the Jasion EB7 conservatively, but also to the quality of the 10-amp-hour lithium-ion battery pack hidden within the top tube of the frame. To access, fold the frame in half, unlock the battery, and the battery slides right out. You can also charge the EB7 with the battery in the frame by plugging the 2-amp charger directly into the port on the left-hand side of the bike. Charging takes about 4 hours. The trip was going great, and at about 3 miles in, we passed up Kenmore Air, which is one of the country's largest seaplane companies. And as a fun fact, did you know that the modern seaplane was invented in 1912? That's 110 years ago. We just crossed the 5-mile mark and we have 82% battery left. But before we get back on the road, let me tell you about the controls on the Jasion EB7. The left-hand grip has the light switch as well as the electric horn. This is the power on-off button, and these 2 buttons increase and decrease the pedal assist level. The M or mode button toggles between current, average, and max speed. The Jasion EB7 also has a walk mode you can engage by pressing and holding the minus button, but I personally feel this feature is a little bit jerky and the walking speed is set to about 3.5 miles per hour, which is a tad too fast. The right-hand grip is where the shifter controls and half-twist grip throttle are located. And if you've never ridden an e-bike with a throttle before, just know that it allows you to do this. Anyways, the EB7 was delivered via FedEx, and the inside was well padded. The zip ties were easy enough to cut off. Now, back to the ride. We just crossed the 10-mile mark and we've still got 66% battery left. Now, I don't know if it's the low 24-inch step-over height, the comfortable saddle, or the extremely affordable price tag, but of all the e-bikes I've ridden lately, and the few that I own, the EB7 is honestly the one that I ride the most. The 59.5-pound total weight is on par for an e-bike in this range, and it's plenty easy enough for me to maneuver both on and off the bike. The high-carbon steel frame is ultra-sturdy and supports a payload capacity of 300 pounds. The location of the ignition is kind of annoying. You just have to keep trying until you find it. We just crossed this sign that says only Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes are allowed. Thankfully for us, the Jasion EB7 is a Class 2 e-bike, meaning the throttle won't take it over 20 miles per hour. The Jasion EB7 comes with stock front and rear suspension. To adjust the travel, turn the knob on the top left-hand side of the suspension. To lock out the suspension entirely, turn the knob on the right-hand side. The rear suspension is also great at absorbing bumps, rocks, and uneven terrain. We're 14.5 miles into this trip, and it's brought us to one of Seattle's most iconic parks, Gasworks Park. And then off in the distance, you can also see downtown Seattle, complete with the Space Needle. Now, it's kind of noisy, but I feel like this would be a great place to talk about the 500-watt motor on the Jasion EB7. Located in the rear hub, the Jasion branded motor delivers 50 Newton meters or 36 foot-pounds of torque. In Pedal Assist 1, we get 11.2 miles per hour. In Pedal Assist 2, I got 14 miles per hour. In Pedal Assist 3, I got 17.7 miles per hour. In Pedal Assist 4, I got 18.5 miles per hour. And in Pedal Assist 5, we of course got 20 miles per hour. We've now gone 15 miles and we have 52% battery life left. I think we should be able to make it to 20 miles. The recommended rider height of the Jasion EB7 is 5'2" to 6'2". To adjust the seat post, unhinge the clamp and raise or lower the seat to your desired height. The handlebars work the same way. Simply unhinge the clamp and raise or lower the handlebars as needed. We just finished our 20-mile bike ride from Blythe Park to Golden Gardens on the northwest side of Seattle. It's sunny, it's hot, the bike was loaded down with a 190-pound payload, we climbed over 900 feet in elevation, and we finished the ride with 42% battery remaining. My son is here. This video enticed you to get more information about the Jasion EB7, then be sure to let Jasion know that I sent you there by using the link in the description of this video. This is the Mokwheel Scoria, a rugged, all-terrain electric bike built for casual riders, grocery getters, and off-road adventurers who want a fat tire e-bike with serious utility, quality, and comfort. With a 750-watt rear hub motor that peaks at 1100 watts, a torque sensor, and a massive 940 watt-hour battery integrated right into the down tube, the Scoria isn't just another step-through. It's a fully loaded electric cargo cruiser that's ready to work and play. The one we're riding today is the red Firebrick colorway, and man is it impressive. It also comes standard with this rear rack with wood grain that looks great. In this video, I'll break down the motor, battery, frame, brakes, and what it actually feels like pedaling this big cruiser around town and on beach trails. I'll also share my real-world range stats and my honest take on whether the Scoria is worth it for the price. You're watching Electric Rideables, and this is everything you need to know about the Mokwheel Scoria. Right out of the box, the Scoria feels sturdy and well built. The frame is a step-through 6061 aluminum alloy with internal cable routing and integrated lights. The ride position is upright and relaxed, with swept back handlebars and a big comfy saddle. Think classic cruiser vibes, but with more muscle. Now let's talk power. The Scoria runs a 750 watt rear hub motor and it's paired with a torque sensor, which means the power delivery feels very smooth and natural. Throttle response is instant and pedal assist is adaptive, not jerky like some cadence-only setups. The top speed? Well, this is a Class 2 e-bike, so the pedal assist and throttle will take you up to that 20 mph top speed and not much more. The Scoria ships with a massive 48-volt, 19.6 amp-hour Samsung battery that claims a range of up to 80 miles depending on how you ride. And yes, we'll talk real-world results shortly. And speaking of results, if you're liking this review, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more e-bike coverage. And charging time is around 5.6 hours with the included 3 amp charger, which is pretty standard for a battery this size. Controls are handled by a full color display mounted at the center of the bars. It's bright, easy to read in daylight, and gives you all the key metrics: speed, assist level, battery, watt output, trip data, etc. Now let's get into the ride. The Scoria rolls on 20 by 4-inch fat tires with CST puncture protection. Combine that with the front suspension fork and wide padded seat, and this thing floats over bumps, curbs, and even light trails. No rear suspension, but the fat tires and geometry do a solid job softening the ride. It's a cruiser with serious comfort. And it handles cargo too. You've got a built-in rear rack that can haul up to 100 pounds, plus mounting points for front racks, baskets, or child seats. Mokwheel even sells solar panels and inverter accessories that turn this bike into a mini mobile power station. Pretty wild. Braking is handled by hydraulic disc brakes with 180mm rotors in the front and rear, providing smooth modulation and strong stopping power. No complaints here. And yeah, it's a big bike with a total weight of about 82 pounds including the battery. But the step-through frame and motorized assists mean it doesn't feel heavy once you're riding. And unboxing, the packaging was solid. Inside, you get the accessories box. The bike comes mostly assembled. First impressions, the branding looks great. It has the casing for where a mid-drive motor would go, but this is in fact a hub drive. It has the center-mounted kickstand, 180mm disc brakes, 20 by 4-inch fat tires. In the accessory box, we have the instruction manual, the pedals, some mounting hardware, the headlight, a little pump, some tools, and of course the 3 amp charger.
Pump the tires up. We're not going to use this guy. We're going to use this.
These things are really great for pumping up fat tires.
All right, let's give it a try.
And can save you a lot of energy, especially for your first ride. And if interested, there's a link in the description where you can find out more. Anywho, back to the ride. Final thoughts? The Mokwheel Scoria is a great pick for comfort-focused riders who want big range, fat tires, and utility features without dropping $3 or $4 grand. It's not a performance e-bike, but it's powerful, versatile, and built to haul. And priced at $16.99 right now, it's one of the more capable fat tire cruisers in its class. You'll want a space to store it, but for errands, weekend adventures, and relaxing cruising, the Scoria is a great option. And now for the range results. I rode 15.84 miles with pedal assist and throttle, slightly hilly with a bit of wind, and all that stop and go riding that goes along with filming. I was in pedal assist 5 most of the time, And after that I had right about 40% battery left, meaning a projected real-world range of just over 26 miles or so. Basically, a marathon. Again, hit that link in the description to check out the latest pricing and bundles, and if you're into e-bikes, e-motos, and wild new rideables, don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got more coming up, including the ones in this video right here.